remember like rushing to get my first summer job at 13 so that I could get on eBay and just blow all that money on memorabilia.
Back then, there weren't VHSs yet, so you would have to see it in the theater. For me, getting Jaws stuff was like seeing the movie again.
This is a shark jaw that was in Quinn's shack.
Mr. Hooper, I'm not talking about pleasure boating or day sailing. I'm talking about working for a living. I'm talking about sharking.
We met in 2005 at Jaws Fest. The week before, I took a picture of myself with my collection and I had it made on a t-shirt. I didn't know anybody and I figured, well, this is an icebreaker. Jim's brother, who's a photographer, was out taking photos and spotted me and said, hey, is that your collection? And I said, yeah. He said, you got to meet my brother Jim. He's got a huge collection. So he brought me over to Jim and I met him and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah. And then Pete we met a few years later.
It's amazing we were all so local. You know, I grew up in Pawtucket and went to school in Providence, and Jim lives in Providence. Pete's outside of Providence.
Who pays for all this stuff? Government? The Institute? This stuff costs a lot of money.
This is one of the uniforms used for Chief Brody in the second Jaws.
They're the original Bruce tooth from the shark.
I think when you get to this level of collecting and something this specific, I think we're always looking out for each other.
Well, what we've got here is primarily three major props from the movie, screen used, that were won in an auction. This is actually the estuary fin.
Folks, we had some practical jokers out there with the fake fin. And just a trick.
Shark!
That was a
The
fake
shark!
And this really would be considered the centerpiece of the collection, in my opinion. This is the fishing pole used by Robert Shaw in the movie. It still has the original sound to it after years of trying it, which is great. And finally, it's the original fighting chair used in the movie. And it's some 40 years later, and this is what it looks like.
I don't know, Chief. I don't know. He's very smart and very dumb.
But it's really the coming together of all the friends. That's what it's really all about. I would not trade that in for anything.
In 2005, meeting everybody, it was just incredible. Developing friendships that are now way beyond Jaws.
I thought I was the only Jaws fan because everyone I met, either Star Wars or a different type of movie, I was like, I'm the only Jaws fan. And once the internet came out, you would meet these fellow fans from all over the world just like yourself. And I didn't feel alone anymore.